right. Let me see. I forgot how to set this stuff up, man. What's going on, y'all? Put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. We're gonna chop it up a little bit. Oh man, what's going on, Jay, man? Merry Christmas to you, brother. Good to see you, man. Yeah, shout outs to everybody here, man. We're gonna chop it up a little bit. Merry Christmas. Thank you, man. I don't know why the messages just pop up and disappear, but you know. Okay. I think I gotta touch okay. There it is. Yeah, I'm doing a phone stream, but we not vertical today. You know, we just kind of just chopping it up and kicking it and stuff. Give y'all a good show. Y'all can come on in and we just chop it up and kick it, man. So much stuff we gotta talk about on today's show. You know. But Merry Christmas to everybody. I know if you're in the States, it's still Christmas Eve, but Christmas nonetheless. And, you know, there's so much stuff to talk about on today's show. Y'all come on in. So on the last show, give me 1 second. Oof. 1 second, guys. Okay. I gotta rotate my phone. This is some bullshit. All right, here we go. Yeah, so on the last show, we was talking about a lot of stuff. You know, I covered a lot of topics, and everything I told y'all came true, as always. I'm always like 2-3 steps ahead. So it's vital, man. Y'all hit the Cash App support show. Very vital that y'all follow this game that I be giving y'all, man. Give me 1 second. This thing does not give me the option to chat, y'all. But yeah, it's very vital that y'all follow this game that I'll be giving y'all, man. Super vital. Hold up. Alright, I don't know if this thing is pinned or not, but yeah, we can pin this. But anyway, I told you guys that Nicki Minaj, right? We'll start off with Nicki Minaj, right? Nicki Minaj was over on Turning Point USA, and just like clockwork, I'm not even gonna lie, her fans is ready to do her in anyway. But just like clockwork, oh, this thing came out. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Look, just like clockwork, the Barbs and a whole bunch of black women, the sisters done turned against Nicki Minaj. Ain't that some BS? Ain't that some BS? I told y'all that was gonna happen. I told y'all they were gonna turn against Nicki Minaj. You can't be no damn female rap artist and be goddamn Republican or conservative. They're not about to let you live. They don't see, black people don't understand that language. Most black people do not understand that language, much less the women. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The matriarch that a lot of black men are stuck in is the reason why men in general vote Democrat in a lot of cases, which is crazy. If you think about it, you gotta think about it. A lot of women don't think about it because they don't talk politics like that, which is funny why they'll cancel you for some bullshit politics they barely talk, discuss, or understand. You understand what I'm saying? The whole reason why the majority of black people vote Democrat is because of the women and the matriarch that we live in. That's the funny part. That's the irony right there. You know? And maybe one of y'all can blame that shit on Martin Luther King if you want to blame it on a guy. You probably give it to MLK, you know? But shit, fuck it. Plus, Nikki already done damn near made the money she's supposed to or gonna make anyway. She done made the bulk of it anyway. People are so fake. This is what we're gonna talk about. It's a fake Christmas, because we're gonna get into the whole passport bro thing with Floyd and stuff. But it's a fake ass Christmas, y'all. You know. Um, these people, man, they'll do you in at the drop of a fucking hat. That's the thing about the sisterhood and the matriarch and the black community, serving the black community. You got to be hive minded to the core. You know, you don't kiss ass or agree with them one time, you're done. You're done. What's going on, UFO? Man, you already know. You already know, man. Yeah, you don't agree one time, you up out of there, man. Merry Christmas, man. Shout outs to UFO Kamikaze. Yeah, you don't agree with them one time, you up out of there. Now they fake turning against, you know what I'm saying, Nicki Minaj. What's going on, DJ Seth? Good to see you, man. Merry Christmas, brother. Y'all come on in. Please support the content. Hit the like button. Yeah, man. That's the thing that they don't, I mean, the women know, but that's the thing that they don't tell the other women. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to agree with everything they say. And if you don't, it's your Dunsky. Nicki Minaj, I'm glad she made the bag before she did this, because she made her little bag and then got up out of there, you know as she should, because their audience fake anyway. Those women, they play the game in a more fucked up way that they claim men play. A lot of the women, even the older ones that grew up on Nicki Minaj, literally, we sat there in the millennial generation, and a lot of y'all Gen Xers saw it too. So y'all know I'm not bugging. We sat there and watched women copy Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, I can even say, was more copied than Lil' Kim. Follow me where I'm going. Her whole aesthetic, her whole gimmick, every single thing. We sat up there, and at least for 10 years, till this day though, with the Harajuku stuff and the bangs and stuff like that, we watched these women copy Nicki Minaj. Whether it was rapping, whether it was her looks, whether it was talking like her, Her whole gimmick. We seen women copy that bullshit and pretend to be her for more than 10 years. And now all of a sudden, throw her under the bus. And shit. Erica Kirk fucked up by bringing her out there, knowing damn well Charlie didn't like her. But you'll be surprised when you meet certain people. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's being starstruck, but it's, you know, I don't know. Maybe she's different, you know. But Charlie Kirk wouldn't approve of that. Charlie Kirk wouldn't approve of that. You know, Merry Christmas, everybody. Please hit the like button on the way in. Please support the show. I'm in the gift of giving this game. So please do the same, you know. But yeah, she, you know, the barbs done turned on her. And the reason why I say the women are so fucking fake was because they were going to do her in for Cardi B anyway. It's just that Cardi B needs a team. You know, she couldn't really sustain herself, you know. Nikki, you know, hit the like button, y'all. Nikki still sustained herself even after the Young Money split, you know. So think about that, you know, relying on, you know, she didn't rely on Drake like that. Never really relied on Weezy like that. She could, you know, she could still do stuff by herself. But, you know, the big three at the time, y'all know, was Wayne, Drake, and Nicki. And really, you know, if Wayne hadn't fell out with Bird, bro, Wayne would have made a stupid bag off of Tiger either way. You know, you got quote unquote corny artists that make a lot of money, you know. Some people even say Gunna, you know. But that's another discussion, you know. And the other big three at the time was Kanye, Jay, and Rihanna. You know. Two of those people, I think, if I'm not mistaken, went on to be billionaires. If not all three of them, Jay, Kanye, and Rihanna. I heard recently The Weeknd sold his catalog, or sold it's something. I heard he probably touching. I don't think he touching Billy though, but I don't know. You know, I don't even think Drake is touching the Billy. You said, I see Nicki and Candace eventually teaming up, man. They don't even look like they sit down and talk shit about people to each other. They don't even look like they belong in the same room as each other. But you know what? I kind of see it too. You know, I don't put it past both of them. You know. I mean, you know, that's the thing, man. When you get to a certain level, man, it's like you gotta be fake. You know, like it's like it ain't even personal. The fakeness come with the bullshit. You know, it's like the fakeness gotta come with the bullshit. Y'all get the likes up, y'all. The fakeness gotta come with the BS. You know, is lucrative. It's lucrative to be fake. Very lucrative. You know, and it's like shit. If you kept it real and all that, and it wasn't appreciated, it's like shit, man. I see why a lot of people just go gimmicky. A lot of people just go fake. Get a bunch of fake people around you that support you and shit. You know. Say to a certain degree, sometimes it's like the same as having You know, I don't know, man. You go one way, you're gonna attract fake friends. You go the other way, you're gonna attract fake friends. So might as well. I guess how they look at it is like might as well have supporters. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't disagree, UFO. I think maybe Erica Kirk, if she's still cool with Candace, or Candace still cool with her, not doing hit pieces on her, which I think is gonna happen soon. 2026, I'm gonna call it. Just remind me that y'all remind me that I called it. I got Candace Owens going in on Charlie Kirk's wife and attempting to speak for Charlie. But if Candace do get cool with Nikki, it's gonna be through the wife. The wife putting them two in a room together or on a stage together or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how that that's how that go. She already cool with Killer Mike. She already cool with Ti. Ti doing comedy. He got a whole comedy special out. Just some interesting times that we living in now, y'all. Everybody want to be a podcaster. Even rappers, people that didn't conventionally or traditionally look up to, you know. So, but it's just fake. I mean, people are fake nowadays, man. Super fake. And at one point, human decorum was to literally mask it or hide it. But it's like they're just so blatant with the fakeness. It's like, bro, what's the point of masking it or hiding it? You know, people don't even feel shame about how fake they've been. And it's like, bro, at least you could fire up another channel or platform and go be fake over there. Nah, niggas is fake on their original platforms. Like, god damn. Whoop de doo. Shit. Everybody calling out the artists saying fuck the streets. They're like, oh, them niggas fake. Look around the manosphere. This is the fakest Christmas ever. I want y'all to look around the manosphere. All these dudes that was running around talking about some get your passport, pushing passport bros heavy. They quiet as hell now. All this Floyd thing, a lot of them quiet as hell now. Now they trying to back up off the passport shit. O'Shea done turned fake as fuck. Y'all know O'Shea was gonna turn fake. FBA's done shut the hell up for a good 3 days and shit like that because Floyd is technically FBA. They can't run with that tether shit. What's going on, SD? Merry Christmas, bro. Good to see you guys, man. Please, y'all hit the like button. Support the show. Hit the Cash App. Please support the show. We're going to talk a little shit on today's show, y'all. Y'all let me know, man. Let me know. But y'all know how fake these cats are. Now, all of a sudden, what happened to get your passport? What happened to all that, See, a lot of those passport bros, a lot of you guys that's not here, they're not Manosphere. They didn't want to be Manosphere. At one point, it was Manosphere versus the passport bros. When Charles Tyler was around, and Tariq Nasheed and a lot of other cats that was around in the actual Manosphere that was actually doing passport content. Believe it or not, Tariq Nasheed did passport content back in the day. One of his favorite places to go and the places that he be at, especially when he write Hidden Colors. and be making a lot of the, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff. What's going on, Tampa? Good to see you, broski. Yeah, man, I warned these people about this shit, Tampa. I appreciate you, man. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody. You did. Tariq Nasheed used to go to Hawaii and a couple of other places in the Caribbean. You know? He used to go to Hawaii and a couple of other places in the Caribbean, y'all. Y'all hit that like button. Come on in, man. Yeah, shout outs to Ray. He sent me a link not too long ago about like some Berserk lore and stuff like that, you know. I needed to check it out. You know, I hope you don't think I ignored him, you know. But yeah, man. Yeah, I hope to get back into I hope to get back into anime. You know, I definitely want to chop it up, watch Berserk with you guys. Um, I wanted to watch this anime from the '80s called Gunbuster. You know, what's going on, Royce? Good to see you, man. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I wanted to watch Gunbuster from the '80s. You know, which is a dope anime. You know, a little bit of nudity in it, but you know it is what it is. Shout outs to Royce J in the building. Make sure you guys subscribe. Give yourself a Christmas gift from Player Talk Radio to you guys, and subscribe to my brother Royce J's channel. Hey Royce, we called it, man. We've been calling this shit for years at this point. It's like we're not even surprised. But let me give y'all some history, man. The Passport Bros, they were adjacent to the Manosphere, the Black Manosphere. But the Black Manosphere was not Passport Bros. You know? Now, if you were a spectator and you were a brother that traveled, yeah, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But the Manosphere wasn't taking on the Passport Bro ideology. The Manosphere, a lot of the cats that was in the space more so had a pro-black ideology. You understand what I'm saying? Oh man, come on UFO. These Chicago finna pop up, man. Yeah, they don't know about that, Royce. Come on, man. Come on, Royce. They don't know about that. These people, when they met Tariq Nasheed, was hidden colors and taking his talking points and running around here calling people tethers. Like they don't know no damn Tariq Nasheed. Tariq not Wait, that's why I said they so fake with him too, stealing his shit. This whole shit is fake. Tariq Nasheed was red pilled than a motherfucker. All the dating coaches, they don't even know. Man, you got people that claim to be red pill as fuck talking crazy about dating coaches and shit like that, which I get it. But you can't go too far with your rhetoric on dating coaches because they create the terminology that a lot of the red pill adopted and used today. You know, these people so fucking fake, Royce. That shit makes me sick. That's why I'm laid up in the bed right now, chopping it up with y'all and giving y'all this wisdom. You know, 25 minutes into the madness. Merry Christmas, y'all. Y'all hit the like button. Look out for the cookout. Drop something on the Cash App. I got you guys. Please support the show. All right. But nah, man, the Passport Bros used to get ran the fuck up out of the Manosphere. And they used to get ran out of the Manosphere because people would call them PDF files. And you have a lot of people that are running around here lying, saying that that's what I was doing. calling people PDF files. I don't run around nowhere and call people PDF files. You can get sued for that. Number one. Number two, there were certain guys that was legitimately talking about running away from America and going overseas to get women or whatever, but they were talking that virgin shit. And you had Austin Holloman the other day. I had to correct it, trying to talk about some of the manosphere be talking that virgin shit. It's like, no, nigga, the group of niggas that you got tattooed on your arm, they were talking that virgin shit. Now, shout outs to the real passport bros, and shout outs to the real black men that travel. But we got to tell it like it is. We got to tell the story like it is, man. You dig? What's going on, Raven Knight? Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas. We just gonna tell the story like it is. You know, shit, these new passport bros are imposters anyway. You know, I've been saying this for years. You know. Now, they used to get ran the hell up out of the manosphere. The real ones were respected, like you know, like Charles Tyler. Oh man, salute. Shout outs to Raven, man. What type of beer are you drinking? Let me know. You know, y'all let me know too. Put y'all city and where y'all at in the chat. You know, you got that Modelo. What you got, the Negro or the Especial? Both are good, by the way. You know, if it's cold, get that Negro. Yeah, I said both of them are good. See, yeah, you know, I know my beers. Hell yeah. Raven tapped in. Yeah. Both are good shit. You can drink both at the same time. That's the cool part about Modelo, you know. There he go. Man, Merry motherfucking player Christmas to And1 Play 5 in the building, man. Yeah, man. These people talking, they don't even know Tariq Nasheed was Red Pill and was a passport bro back in the day. They don't know about International Mackin Week. They don't know about that. Bro, wait until I start breaking down old Mac Lessons radio episodes. I got that tucked in the archive, you know. I got that shit tucked in the archive. Y'all let me know. I'm gonna have to Patreon that. I got that shit up in the damn archives, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And1 Play 5. So why are these new people coming in stealing his talking points, knowing damn well they finna be fake with him also? You know? So, you know. I forgot the new term that the FBAs are gonna start calling themselves. It wasn't Native American. What was it called? It starts with an R. I forgot, but they finna pump and dump Tariq Nasheed also. Come 2030, they're gonna be calling themselves something else. They fully gonna turn on him, especially once they realize he was red pilled, or they try to pretend like they hate a pimp or some other shit. Like, imagine that, a bunch of OnlyFans bitches pretending like they hate a fucking PI. Can you dig it? Fake ass people. Man, look, this shit's so fake. O'Shea fake ass want to do content on the passport bros. Anton, he trying to act like he got some type of leverage or some shit to talk about some damn passport bro. Anton Lucky, shout outs to Anton, but he, like I said years ago, he because when he was talking about breaking up with his wife and getting Lamborghinis and shit like that, man, these girls nowadays would have ate Anton's ass up. You know, like I said, Yeah, cultural shapeshifters. That's the perfect term for it, UFO. But a lot of these people, man, they just fake, man. Y'all get the likes up. Get the likes up. Hit the likes. Hit the likes. Hit the likes, y'all. These hoes would have ate Anton ass up. They was eating his ass up before he found the red pill. But I told y'all, a lot of guys in relationships. This is because a lot of people here, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. A lot of guys in marriages and in relationships, they're red pilled. Y'all just don't know it. You know, there is a such thing as being red pilled and being married. There is a such thing as, being red pilled and being in a in a relationship. Sometimes your woman, if you got a cool relationship going on, your woman, will keep you red pilled, you know. And once that nigga was not built to be built to be a real hunter, mad washed up, laugh my ass off. I'm just saying, man, not to go in on him, but you know what I'm saying. His wife kept him red pilled. Obviously, if he got fucked over by some of these broads out here, which they would have ate his ass up. These rich niggas are bait. You know, you said we had a term. Hold on. My thing's acting up. Hold on, y'all. It the chat is so weird when you hold on. The chat is so weird when you're horizontal on your phone. While married. That sounds familiar. You know. I absolutely was around, for all of that stuff. Shout outs to my brother Royce J, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to him, man. It's Christmas. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself, y'all. All right. Yeah, they're big, man. 100%. Yeah, and fucking trouble if he wasn't married nowadays. But the thing is that, I'm going to tell you the truth. There's more than a lot of ways to red pill yourself. And the guys that had to fuck up with women and go through red pill rage, yeah, they're cool, but they're not the most trusted of the red pills, They're not necessarily the most trusted of the red pills. Remember, red pill is just You know what I'm saying? Anton, even while married, had to get fucked over by a series of women that he was working with before he said, you know what? Let me red pill myself and go ahead and stay with me, bitch. Let me go ahead and stay with me, wife. You know what I'm saying? He made the right choice. I got to give him his credit. You know? You said red pill rage, and then DJ Cuda introduced the weekend to me. Man, listen. I don't know what the hell the weekend got going on right now. Somebody said he's a billionaire. I don't know, because that would entail that he surpassed Drake, and I don't know about all of that. But if y'all go listen to the Trilogy album from the weekend, that shit will black pill the fuck out. Listen, especially if you're going through a breakup, I didn't know, but it makes sense. We go through this almost every year. Y'all might be with your wifey today or your lady today, but come after Christmas, people be breaking up for the New Year's. I didn't know. January, I got to know shit like this because the space that I'm in. January, talk about this almost every year, is the month where the most breakups occur. Yeah, man. Trilogy though, but this is yeah. This is the thing though. Trilogy was put together later. Trilogy is like 3 albums in one. That's why they call it trilogy. So like was it House of Balloons, Echoes and stuff like that. All of that stuff was 3 different albums, and then they put it together on trilogy. And then when he met Drake, I ain't gonna lie. What was it called? Zone. Zone is my fucking song. Yeah, yeah. And we'll play five. Hey, come on, man. Yeah. Echoes of Silence. Yeah. Man, we was man. Listen, you said 11 months. 11 months to go. You said November GTA. Man, I think they gonna set that shit back. Thursday is my favorite fucking song. Listen, and my favorite day of the week is Thursday. Yeah, man. I like the Birds and the Birds Part Two. Both of those songs are fucking masterpieces. Trilogy by itself is a damn masterpiece. And then you got what you call it? What's my giant there? He's what you want. He's what you want. I'm what you need, what you need, what you need, what you. I want you. That shit fire, bro. And then the other J, I always want you when I'm coming down. Bruh, y'all about to, whoo, man. Man, listen. You want to be high for this, y'all. You gotta be high for this, you know. They don't know about that album. If you going through any type of red pill rage or you going through anything, even if you got a girl, fuck it. Just go whoop de doo. Just go download Trilogy from the weekend and thank me later, man. What's going on, bro? It's Flat Power God. Merry Christmas, brother. Thank me later. That is a Christmas gift from me to you. If you only knew. Man, listen, the girls I was running through at the time, Jesus, peace. That whole trilogy project got me through some, man. That shit will black pill. That's a black pill album. That shit will black pill the fuck out of you. Those songs, they will make you cold enough to do whatever you need to do. Yeah, I saw the Tomb Raider trailer. Yeah, I saw the Tomb Raider trailer. You know, y'all go hit that link from my last show and get $5 on the house, man. Play some phone games. Listen to Player Talk Radio. That's lifestyle. Preferably with a cigar or some beer. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know. Yeah, they kind of, you notice they kind of changed up Tomb Raider's look a little bit. Now she don't look like a feminist running through a cave. They kind of restored her boobs. She kind of still look glacier in the face. She still look like a white woman. Obviously, Tomb Raider is a white woman, but the original Tomb Raider, she looked a little Latina. Like the original Tomb Raider looked like she's like a exotic Venezuelan baddie running through a cave. Ain't nothing fun about no damn feminist running through a cave unless she falls off the cliff or something or whatever. Maybe those clips might be hilarious, but ain't nothing fun about no damn feminist running through no cave. When nigga, once they made her look like a feminist running through the cave, nigga, I was on the cave side. Like, man, I wish this trap door would slap the. Man, I wish that bear would tear her ass up. Like on the nigga. At that point, I was whoever rigged that cave with all of those traps and shit. I'm on their side. Fuck that. Turned her into a damn feminist. Y'all already messed up Last of Us and all them other games. Now you got a feminist in a cave running through shit, tugging on doors and trap doors and shooting shit. Like, come on now. She would not make it through that damn cave before calling a man. Oh man, yeah, Final Fantasy, yeah, yeah, hell yeah, you know. Yeah, she looked good. The aesthetic was good, but I'll take the old Lara Croft any day. They glacier stuff up. They turned her into a feminist. I remember the original God of War. Kratos was black. Don't forget that he was black. Now this nigga, now he look like Conor McGregor. I'm like, man, this is some bullshit. Kratos was black. He was even voiced over by a black man. I think that comedian, what's the name of that comedian? He kind of disappeared. He voiced Kratos, you know? He voiced Kratos. Was it Anthony Brown or Anthony or I forgot his name. The black guy. Cool brother, you know? Ragnarok was actually pretty good. I like the concept of Ragnarok, you know? I think at some point too in Ragnarok you end up getting his Chaos Blades. Yeah, if Triple H voiced him, that would be cool. Cause Triple H could actually play Kratos. He got the body now of like a older, mature Kratos. But Triple H should have been able to play Snake or Liquid, if not both. And I felt before he died, Sean Connery, he could have played Solidus. But anyway, y'all, I digress. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I digress. But yeah, Passport Bros, they used to get called PDF files and ran out of the Manosphere because the Manosphere wanted to save Keisha. It was about saving black women, and it was about saving Keisha. And just about almost anything that the black community and the black people are trapped in. We're trapped in female worship. We're trapped in women's worship. I think the black community has some of the most worst simps on the planet. Um, we're trapped in a conundrum of female worship. You know, that's the problem. That's the dilemma where we're at. If you want to be pro-black, that shit is based on how much you worship the women. Nobody necessarily turns on you, even in the pro-black community, until you stop worshiping the women. You know? Ask Dr. Umar. Everybody turned on Dr. Umar when he stopped worshiping the woman. Once he said he didn't stand behind Kamala, the women did him in. Nicki Minaj teaming up with Turning Point USA was basically a slap to the face to women. Everything stops once you stop worshiping the women. You know? Y'all come on in. I'm dropping some gems. I'm giving y'all this game, alright? Hit the Cash App. It's Christmas. Please support the show. Definitely look out for the cookout. Please support the show at $PTV 888. That's $PTV 888. That's $PTV 888. That's $PTV 888. Been dropping gems all year, y'all. Please support the show. Please support independent black male media that's consistent and actual and factual, giving you some news you can use. Alright? So please support the show without the twos and fews, you know? I'm telling y'all, once you stop worshiping women, it don't matter what you do. It's the end. It's the end. And the conscious community was going away. I mean, you know, the black manosphere was still race loyal. You know, and to this day, the black manosphere is still race loyal. You know, being a passport bro is seen as a treasonous act, not necessarily because you're an expat or you're doing whatever. It's because you're seen as stepping out of the black community altogether. Even in Europe. But the race loyalty thing in Europe is a little bit different than it is in America. A little bit more chains in America when it comes to black race loyalty. And plus, they do what the hell they want to do over there in Europe. This is why Europe is a passport bro destination. Europe, to a certain degree, is a little bit more diversified when it comes to dating than America. You know? Before the black manosphere could quote unquote embrace whatever the hell a passport bro is, somebody had to introduce a different term to the space that also the manosphere was against, and all of a sudden start deriding also, which was SYSBM. SYSBM. Save yourself, black men. Mad Bus Driver over on Facebook came up with the term SYSBM, and I think it was on MySpace for a while, if I'm not mistaken, or Messenger. O'Shea Duke Jackson trolled him for dating white women because O'Shea Duke Jackson had to pretend to be race loyal, which is what he's doing right now. And nobody really calls him out on that shit, that he promotes passport bros and being pro-black on his channel. Like I said, you could be pro-black and you could be a passport bro But most guys don't know how to do it, and they're fake about it. I know how to do it, and I know who's really, both, but they fake, you know, with the grifting and stuff like that. So he was chasing Mad Bus Driver over. He chased him over on YouTube, and nowadays he's promoting Passport Bros. Mad Bus Driver was promoting SYSBM, which was interracial dating, but specifically for the most part going after white women and the Glacier woman, and getting really, you know, bad and decent Glacier women. A lot of brothers felt like, hey, truly I want Keisha still, but this will hit Keisha where it hurts. And to this day, that's going on, but Keisha does the same thing, and they believe that, that will hurt black men. Because honestly, when you think about it, I mean, in niches, yeah, other races can hurt black men, but y'all know for a fact, and Keisha knows for a fact, that to attempt to date the white man will fucking hurt black men. So she going for that card every single time. A woman, they're not flying Thai dudes out to America to get on the black man's nerve. They're not dating Asian dudes to get on the black man's nerve and shit like that. That's just not happening. But the cat's out the bag that most of them can't get decent Brads and decent Chads. And they're not the only ones that want Brad and Chads. They're in high demand. Hit the like button, y'all. Support the show. So, that really messed the sisters up. Because they have dominion over the black man. The black woman controls the sex in the matriarch, thus giving dominion over the black man if he quote unquote wants to be race loyal, which is a pipeline to female and woman worship. That's what it's about. It ain't about religion. It ain't about culture. It ain't about any of that stuff. At the end of the day, it gets defaulted to women worship. Crazy as kept. When a black man is a Christian, default to women's worship. When a black man is Muslim, they carry themselves like men, but a lot of it defaults to women worship. When you want to be pro-black, it don't matter what you talk about, but you better not disrespect a woman, because then you wouldn't be worshiping her. Everything defaults to women worship. All of it. So, the black manosphere dissed the Passport Bros because they wanted to reconcile with Keisha. They wanted everything to work with Keisha. You had Ibmores. You had other black men that would politically and also be considered coons in the space because they wanted to date white women specifically and exclusively. And everything was off because it's like, oh, well, the black manosphere, to a certain degree, because Bwigtow came before MGTOW, it came down to women's worship. The Ibmores came from the pro-black sector, And most of the renegade guys that would eventually find the red pill, they they're leaning they were leaning more towards pro-black, or at least they believed in race loyalty. See how that works? You know, a lot of Hotep guys, they stayed with the pro-black sector because women worship. You know, but a lot of those Hotep pro-black types, they're violent dudes. You know, they're jailbirds. A lot of them. They worship women, and they also abuse women, beat on them. You know, cheat on them, want to date a bunch of them. And believe it or not, a lot of them are super simps. But when they get with a woman, or they get that type of dominion over a woman, and they actually resent them. They actually become red pill. A lot of those Hotep dudes, they're going through red pill rage and don't even know it. Can't really do nothing about it neither. But a lot of times they get an extra wife, not because they want to, but out of resentment. A lot of times they start beating on insubordinate and a disrespectful Keisha that's probably quote unquote pro black or whatever, or a Hotep, those bohos, bohemian Keishas, is because of resentment. They don't know what to do when power is not in their hand, and they get pushed to that level because the person that they worship is disrespecting them in the flesh. See how that works? The worship issues, you know? And it's different. A lot of people don't know how to handle that. God may send you down a fucked up road. Don't get me wrong. To teach you a lesson. But the person that you worship is not dead in front of you, disrespecting you. So a lot of those guys, they don't know what to do. A lot of their behavior, believe it or not, is based off of red pill rage, but they're trapped, So a lot of those guys, like the Yada types, the Dr. Umars, a lot of Keishas, the Grand Rising Keishas, they kind of caught on to it. For the, I hate to say it, ladies, if a nigga can still pull you with that Grand Rising bullshit in 2025, oh, you deserve everything coming to you. Maybe there's some Gen Z broads still falling for that bullshit, but hey. But a lot of black men in the manosphere rejected interracial dating because you had SYSBM. They're race loyal, so a lot of them, they wasn't trying to date white women, or they was, but they're still race loyal, so they openly wasn't, gonna try to be seen with white women or known for dating white women. It was a different type of brother that would be race loyal and do that. Thinking that he's getting back at the establishment. And even movies made fun of it. Don't be a menace to society while drinking your juice in the hood. And a lot of those movies, they kind of make fun of it. About the Hotep brother that low-key dated white women back in the day. Milk of magnesia. So a lot of the brothers was like, look, we'll duke it out with Keisha. We not doing that SYSBM thing because y'all brothers are weird, and y'all had to run to the white woman to get y'all rocks off. That was what brothers was running around talking about. And honestly, at the time, since he invented it, and even to this day, that's what Mad Bus Driver made SYSBM about, specifically dating white women. And it went to the UK also, and they got tenants and all kinds of different stuff. And then it kind of just was like an anti Keisha thing, or you deal with her on your own terms, but we dating white women exclusively. And then some guys will be like, whoa, why stop at white women? We can date Asian girls, we can date blah blah blah. And then the guys that was like, well, listen, if that's what you want to date, you might as well get the un-Americanized one. You have brothers that was like, oh, that's an Americanized mindset. It ain't about Keisha. It ain't about dating white women. It ain't about dating Americanized Asians or Latinos. Blah blah blah. You know what? Let's get on the plane and go to the source. But brothers couldn't see that far. And SYSBM, with all the gangs that the Manosphere was taking on, because a lot of guys in the Manosphere were brand new, didn't know what the fuck was going on. You still see that till this day. Full of shit. You got a group of new niggas here questioning the Manosphere when they're using our talking points, running their channels like ours, reciting their rhetoric, making money in our spaces, using our shit. This new group of people are money hungry than a motherfucker. The original people that were here, at least we cared for y'all. Y'all support their show 10 toes down. We still gotta ask for support. At least we cared for y'all. Go look at the new people running around here that just got here. They money hungry like a motherfucker. At least we care. Y'all sit up here and listen. I do a long ass fucking show for peanuts. With the exception of the people that do rock with the show and support the show. Please support the show. It's Christmas. And we're an hour into the madness. Please support the show. Look out for the cookout. At least we y'all were in good hands. We cared for y'all. These new cats, good luck. Good luck. They sit up here reciting all of our rhetoric, running their channels like ours, using our talking points to have the audacity to question red pill people. And they're not even smart enough to realize that if somebody was walking down the street and they look at them and be like, oh, I thought y'all were red pill. Why y'all copying these people so much? Copying us. For real. That shit bogus. Merry Christmas, y'all. Let's talk about some ho-ho-hos. In the Black Manosphere, niggas are race loyal. So SYSBM, where after the pandemic got sucked up by the Black Manosphere, even though you had some original black men talking about this. The original SYSBM that I subscribe to is the black man, if he wants to, importing black women from South America and all different places, and creating his own black family. Be it as it may, yes, the black woman does carry the black seed, not the black seed, but the black egg, and can create black children. But the black man carries the black seed. We literally carry the civilization of Black America in our in with us. And I agree the black women can create black children also, but it gets breaded out. She can get breaded out. That child, they're gonna say, is exclusively the race of their father. So she gets breaded out eventually. You know? She gets breaded out. You carry the black civilization. So they were talking about the black man taking his ball, pause, and going home. If you love black people so much and love your black skin and you want to be race loyal, you can still get different black women from all over. Create your own nuclear family. Because the one that you have in America, for the most part, is assigned to you. And you're assigned. So that was the SYSBM that I agreed with. I'm like, yeah, you know, if the black man chooses, he can literally practice this. Open up portals on Earth. And create the nuclear family all over again. Just recreate the family that he wants. Which is what you should be doing anyway. So SYSBM had to bridge the gap. And people just had to grift, turn fake, bring the tricking argument in, and adapt. So a lot of people that used to call Passport Bro pedophiles and all that other stuff and things like that and try to chase them out, the community. Because even Jap, go look at Jap. Jap is still old school manosphere. And Jap stuck to the script. Passport Bros used to get ran out. Passport Bros, people wasn't trying to listen to the conversations that Passport Bros was having. And then, if you were around, you know it got super weird when dudes start talking about dating virgins. Start getting a little Glacier Man-ish sounding, you know, oh, y'all gonna go overseas and try to get 12-year-olds and all kinds of goofy shit. A lot of those dudes was, the rhetoric was, that's Passport Bro rhetoric. That's PDF rhetoric. That's textbook, you know, travel man rhetoric. There was Passport Bros. Even you can go back to old school player talk radio shows, 2018, and you'll hear me say, and you'll hear me on panels, and you'll hear me talking to a bunch of other Passport Bros. You know, what's going on, Chris G? Right, Chris G. Merry Christmas, bro. But you know, you'll hear Passport Bros. You'll hear me talking back in the day, you know, even with some Passport Bros. This was a big conversation amongst Passport Bros. That niggas still gotta learn today. How they have to self-police themselves. Even Passport Bros had to get together and kind of thwart. They had to thwart the brothers opening up that lane of conversation, because that's an elephant in the room, and that's a part of, you know, the conversation a lot of those gentlemen don't want to have. So when you fast forward it to today, fake ass manosphere now all of a sudden trying to back up off the Passport Bros, when that's all they're pushing, because there's no other gang or group for them to eat. These new niggas coming in, they don't even know what the hell they following. A lot of the old niggas didn't know what the hell that was going on or what they were following. They weren't at the epicenter. They were just in their house making content. Y'all support the show. Dropping gems, laying stems, you know? Obsidian didn't really know too far much about, and shout outs to him, but he didn't know much about no damn SYSBM. You see how they had to kick Obsidian, and dudes in this space had to get behind Mad Bus Driver and tell him, nah, don't F with Obsidian. And Obsidian was showed the door when he was trying to push SYSBM. And this is why he grifted over to the Passport Bros. Did you see how MOT's fake ass was claiming every single gang? He was the Manosphere president, and then he was the biggest SYSBM guy, and then he started grifting over the Passport Bros also. Especially when Austin Holloman was coming up. Go look at Game Changer right now. Goofball shit. Even Fantastic trying to fake travel and this shit is funny. What's going on, D Chicago? Don't scroll up. Happy holidays, bro. Merry Christmas, brother. Now, all of these people grifted from the Manosphere. All of them. All of them. What's going on, Vaya? Happy holidays. All of them. Fantastic faking like a Passport Bro. Game Changer faked like a Passport Bro. MOT faked like a Passport Bro. O'Shea faked like a Passport Bro. Obsidian faked like a Passport Bro. The only person that stayed was the Angry Man. Hate to break it to y'all. BGS faked like a Passport Bro. And I hate to say it, but I've said it before, and I'll say it once more. If Kevin Samuels was alive, he would have grifted into a Passport Bro. When the original Manosphere used to run Passport Bros up out of the space. They didn't want to hear the PDF talk. They didn't want to hear all of that. They wrote the Passport Bros off wrongly. Because the real Passport Bros will tell you that's not what that shit was about. What's going on, Sharon? Good to see you, man. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. The original Manosphere was pro-black, and they were race loyal. They used to run the Passport Bros out of the space. They had to grift over to the Passport Bros. All of them. Fake ass dudes. And listen, being a Passport Bro and traveling, that wasn't an FBA talking point. Oh yeah, I'm going there. That wasn't an FBA talking point. Have y'all noticed the majority of the Passport Bros are people that are already mixed with something? Already mixed with something. They're half something. Most FBAs, the concept of them getting on the plane and leaving, that's not, nah. For what? And I'm talking about all race loyalty aside, you know? All race loyalty aside. You know? And it's respectfully. I'm saying all of this shit respectfully. You know? So I don't even see why any of the content creators that I name could or would get mad at me, because that's what they're doing. You can go run and catch them right now. That's what they're doing. But why now all of a sudden this happens on Christmas? They quiet. O'Shea, his fence sitting ass, now all of a sudden he's not a passport bro no more. He's he's pro black now. He grifts between pro black and passport bro on the same channel. Crazy work. Now he's not a passport bro. Nigga, O'Shea was living in Poland, pushing the pro-black rhetoric, and was also calling passport bros PDFs back in the day. Now once you bring other races into it, oh, now it's cool to date out. Fake ass shit. You listen, there's a way you can do it, and I told you that I know, but it's not what y'all think. You cannot be a pro-black passport bro in the way that it's presented to y'all. That's how fake it is. You cannot be a pro-black passport bro. You cannot sit up here and say, hey, I want to be race loyal and make it work out with Keisha, but I'm going to be an expat. It don't work like that. Unless you taking her to another country, cool. But then again, you're not rebuilding the quote-unquote kingdom. So that's not race loyal. It's not. Might be for a limited time, but not fully. You cannot be a pro-American expat. You can't. To a certain degree. The term is in the name, expat. You're an expatriate. You're an expatriate. You literally declare yourself an expatriate. So if you're gonna be pro-black, you need to be. You could travel and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that, but you need to be here on American soil. Trying to, this is the ball and chain that you have when you're race loyal. You need to be on American soil, trying to put back together what is the black nuclear family. And this is not my definition. This is the definition from the Hoteps, the pro-blacks, the Ibmores, and the original manosphere. The original manosphere was the black man saying, nah, I'm going to duke it out. We're going to restore the black family. But first, we need to put the black man back in charge. This is the black manosphere. Y'all try to run Mad Bus Driver out when he was telling y'all to go date white women. Y'all were running the passport bros out. And then when y'all realized that Keisha wasn't going to budge, and y'all had to try to date them out of desperation, waiting until they're going through an economic or financial crisis. This is why you still hear people talking about winter is coming. Y'all were stealing Hotep talking points. You niggas thought you was listening to Kevin Samuels when you were listening to Ibmores. You're not listening to Kevin Samuels. You're listening to BGS. Surprise, surprise. Down to the acronyms. You were never listening to Kevin Samuels. You were listening to BGS. And Kevin Samuels, just like BGS, would eventually grift over into being a passport bro. He just didn't live long enough to do it. He would have grifted over into being a passport bro. He would have told y'all to get y'all passport and blah, blah, blah. He would have been over there, and wherever, doing his thing. Nothing wrong with that. It's a grift. But at some point, the black manosphere started absorbing opposite gangs that wasn't even with their original ideology. A lot of those tenants in SYSBM, they're anti-black manosphere. Y'all sat here and watched these niggas play, grift and play all the sides. Y'all seen MOT turn into 5 different niggas. Nigga didn't say, niggas was so scared, didn't say shit. Y'all see Fantastic running around here, grifting to every single panel that he can. Niggas don't say shit. Obsidian has a passport. Respect to him, but has he even been out the country before? Can he teach you how to navigate around Puerto Plata and all these other places that they've been sending y'all to go over there to indulge in sex tourism or a trick, and they didn't give y'all the game? Why are they talking shit to Floyd when they created a Floyd? Think about it. They told Floyd to get his passport. Yes. Figure out which one did. Between the passport bros, between Austin Holloman, O'Shea was trying to take credit for putting on Austin Holloman. Was over there trying to interview Austin Holloman. Now you fast forward it to today. All the people, get your passport, get your passport, get your passport, get your passport. All them niggas now quiet than a motherfucker. Aaron Ferris, they used to run his ass up out of Manosphere spaces. He was happy as hell to be on Bernard Riley's channel. Oh yeah, it definitely is. Merry Christmas, Salmai. Absolutely. Y'all hit the like button, man. Hit the Cash App. Support the show, y'all. Look out for the cookout. Support real black independent media. I'm not supposed to be saying what I'm saying right now, but it's the truth. We red pill or what? This the truth. If you was red pill, you red pill. The truth shouldn't change. The truth don't change. A lie does. The truth can't grift. It doesn't have the luxury to do that. This is the truth. One by one, I start seeing all of them. Just now, all the and even the pro-black sector, them niggas fucked up in the game. Some nigga prior to 2020 that tried to convince you that he was Egyptian, now all of a sudden is an FBA, and everybody around him are tethers now. You can't make this shit up. But black culture is the most phoniest culture on the planet because it steals shit while at the same time accuse people of stealing shit. And has a obsession with being exotic, but complaining that they can't be themselves. This is some real shit. This is the part of the story you wasn't prepared for. Support the show, y'all. Support black male media, man. Somebody got to tell the truth because we got to reconcile with all of this shit at some point. We got to reconcile with all of this shit at some point. And we got to stop acting like we taking on new knowledge when it's some bullshit that we swept under the rug for a long time. We got to stop acting like we taking on new knowledge. That shit is so fake to me. That shit is so fake to me. So you got the diet manosphere coming in. They running their channels like ours, talking like us, using our rhetoric and all this other stuff. They don't know no damn better. Questioning the red pill. They don't even talk to real red pill people. You got all these new red pill people coming in here claiming red pill. I'm like, bro, who are these niggas, bro? Who are these people? You got original channels like mine, barely can get the support that it needs, but yet somehow I'm still here, educating, participating, giving y'all the knowledge you can't learn in college, giving you some news you can use, laying paint where it ain't, doing what other channels can't. And I'm looking at, and I'm all the other people y'all done supported. They done grifted to oblivion. That they just disappeared. They just stopped going live. Look at all the people in the space that just stopped going live. Y'all got no choice but to watch fake niggas, cause y'all don't know how to put y'all phones down, go outside, or support the people that's still around for the most part. That's crazy. It's like when I was giving y'all all of this game about mics and giving y'all the rundown of history, y'all reduced me to some bullshit. I said, damn, ain't that fucked up? Ain't that fucked up? You know what happened? Back in the day when the television was new, same thing with radio, there was but so many channels you could watch. So you're like, you know what? I guess we're gonna watch Channel 5. Yep, I'm gonna be a Fox person. We're just gonna watch Channel 5. We only got a handful of channels to choose from. We only got a handful of channels to choose from, y'all. We're just gonna watch Channel 5. Because out of all the channels around the majority of the day, that channel seemed reasonable. Right? This is when you only had a handful of content creators here. And then guess what happened? They introduced cable television. Oh my God, all the channels you can choke on. Even the ones you're not going to use. It's the buffet mindset in the West all over again. When you have so much choices, you make no choice. Or you segregate your own self. So here comes cable television, and y'all try to watch all the channels, but guess what? There's only but so much time in the day. The human beings that get the likes up, y'all. Support the show, y'all. I'm educating y'all, giving y'all some real history. Human beings spend 1/3 of their lives sleep, right? And then your shows, they run for a certain amount of time. So, and you got people that flip back and forth between the channels and try to catch their shows. But guess what? Cable made you feel like you had an abundance, which you did, but you don't even take advantage of the abundance that you have. Then comes the phone and the internet. What's going on, Hola? Merry Christmas, brother. Good to see you, man. Y'all hit the like button on the way in. Please support the show. Wipe your feet at the dough. Hit the Cash App and do some more, man. Y'all support the show. Hit the Cash App. Hit the PayPal. Y'all support this knowledge, y'all. I'm giving y'all insights on how your brain compartmentalizes things and tries to put things into a language. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of people don't understand. Informations, not confirmation bias, but analysis paralysis, and paralysis by analysis. In America, when you go to a buffet, sometimes you eat less food because guess what? All of that food in abundance in front of you, you feel compelled, you feel obligated to eat all of that food that you might not eat it. Or guess what? You'll have a plate full of 5 different animals on that fucking plate and wasted. Getting up talking about something, I'm gonna go get dessert. When you got shrimp, beef, chicken, squid, calamari, goat, lamb, and all that shit on one plate and some rice. And don't eat it. Pick and choose. So all of the cats from the old manosphere, they got phased out because what I told them what was gonna happen was gonna happen. I predicted all this shit. That's all these new diet manosphere niggas gonna come in here. They're gonna have mics. They're gonna we've already set the blueprint with StreamYards and all these other different sites. They're gonna run their shows like ours. They're gonna quadruple on the panel. They're gonna be extra money hungry. They're not gonna give a fuck about no damn message. They're gonna be beefing. And you see the same people that been sitting up here listening to these conversations for the longest time in their chats, supporting and asking the same stupid questions that they asked us. Imagine asking the same fucking questions for generations, and a nigga gave you the answer. You niggas asked all the fucking questions and received a generational answer, and still asking these dumbass questions. So the people that tried to help y'all done phased out. That y'all have no choice but to listen to the bullshit. At this point, y'all had no choice but to rot your own damn brain. Cause these conversations ain't going nowhere. This shit going back in a circle. Niggas still gotta, so the body count. Like, nigga, we have full ideologies and lifestyle blueprints built behind all of these talking points. That niggas just repeated to the point that it just lost its meaning and became butchered. The term woke became something else. Right? We were talking about it on the last show. The term woke became something else. All of these terms became something else. Right, hold on. Butchered these talking points to oblivion. That people are just making up their own philosophies behind something. Shout outs to Shaka Nulu, man. I meant to give you a shout out too before I ended the last show. Good to see you, bro. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you. You know, this is Jesus' birthday, y'all. Act like you know. So y'all have no choice but to listen to a bunch of new niggas and a horrible rendition of these conversations, and more horrible waves of women that are delusional, and that's gonna dupe y'all right back into the plantation, right back into female worship. And it don't even feel or sound right because now you about to be worshiping the worst group of women ever. They don't make them like they used to. Even if females was your idols and gods, I would be fucking disappointed. From the display and the shit that we see nowadays. They want you to worship a prostitute. Again, God will put you through a bunch of bullshit. You know, Jesus will arrange it, but Jesus won't change it. God will put you through a bunch of bullshit, but God will never purport himself or itself in front of you to the point where you lose respect. You even see people that go against the Lord, they go against the church, but guess what? They find their way back home. How are you going to worship or idolize, have self-idolatry? How are you going to worship and idolize something like that and watch that thing that you're idolizing fuck itself up and disrespect itself right in front of you while simultaneously dissing you and disrespecting you. What's going on, King Pix? Merry Christmas, man. Please hit the like button on the way in, y'all. Please look out for the cookout. Support the show. You could be anywhere else in the world celebrating Christmas, but you're here with me and I'm here with you. So let's make it do what it do, y'all. Please support the show via Cash App, via PayPal. I'm giving y'all this good game. Women won't even respect you if you worship them in this state. Because if you don't believe me, go look at the simps. Women have men around them in their life worshiping them. They have simps in their life worshiping them. Fellas, tell me where in your life do you have a gang of women around you worshiping you and you get to have your nose in the air for just whatever reason and be able to act it. And listen, you have black men in this space fighting for an SBE and they ass off, fighting for the attention of black women and all the leadership and stuff that men are asking for. They're not even asking to be worshipped. Women have duped y'all niggas into thinking requiring the bare minimum from them to look out for family or contribute is slavery to serve you and her family. So I wonder what the hell the shit that men give up. I wonder what the hell you think men are doing if they're not serving their family. He said, did you see Fonnie Willis Senate hearing? DJ Cuda, what's your thoughts? I have not seen it. What happened? And if it's some fuckery, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, women don't respect the simp. That's what I'm trying to say. If you respect them in this state, even they shit on you. Right, hold on, but you got to draw like a firm line in the sand, you know? Well, D Chicago is here. And I understand what D Chicago is saying with the whole money thing, but you can't make this shit about money. Women worship money. Women worship money. That's the default setting that a lot of them are on right now. Not even just women, people, you know? But they worship money. And then if you're niched in and you're race loyalty and you're black and you worship black women by default because she surrenders herself to the white man and the white patriarchy, you worship the white men and the white establishment. This is elementary school black boy shit. You realize you're in the matriarch. Most black women will grow up and never feel a matriarch at all, even though they do. It just doesn't get it presented to them the way it gets presented to you. Women following the matriarch is literally the hive mind. So let's see at the big old age that Nicki Minaj is at. Now you got all these women turning against Nicki Minaj. Let's see if her ass is gonna realize, damn, I'm in the matriarch. And look how she had to find that shit out. That is very true, Nu. That is absolutely true, brother. Absolutely true. But look how Nicki Minaj had to find that shit out. Because guess what? She like a gangster dude that been through some shit, so she kind of has to empathize with her husband that's probably not as wealthy as she is. She got a son now, and she's a boy mom, so now she got to put herself in his shoes. She made her money in a quote unquote male dominated industry. So she had to figure it out. In high key, she fucking agrees with the male dominated industry that she came up in. But she gotta appease her goofy ass fans. Then on top of that, she has a brother that got caught up in some PDF file shit similar to her husband and all that other stuff. So she got a bunch of dudes around her, and she's damn near recently just became male identified. She made so much hoe anthems, hood hoe anthems. I've seen bitches imitate, copy, repeat almost everything Nicki Minaj have done for a full fucking decade. Nicki Minaj done raised a full generation and a half of women. If you think about it, Lil Wayne is the king of hip hop. Nicki Minaj is the queen of hip hop. And I'm telling you some real shit, because Lil Wayne's mom was like, they both should get together. That would have been crazy, but I'm telling you some real fucking shit. Now you got I remember I said this on the last show. Now you got the fucking fake Barbs turning against Nicki Minaj because she popped up over at Turning Point USA. And she said, or something to the degree that, or agreed that young men should be like Trump. Nuked the fuck out of her audience. Made all them fake bitches reveal themselves. And look how fake some of these hoes are. I'm gonna show y'all if the show is supported. I'm gonna do another Christmas show for you guys, because it's Christmas where I'm at. But I came on here to give y'all some knowledge and work a little bit today. But look how she showed y'all all of that stuff, and these women are like, oh, I like her albums, I'll still listen to her music, but Nicki as a person, I'm not rocking with her. Like, bitch, you ain't even political. Black people don't even know what the fuck a conservative is. They only think black people are dual-minded. This is why you still got to use initials and shit. They only think Democrat, Republican. They don't think other parties exist. If you're not a Democrat to black people, you're a Republican to them. The majority of black America, they're not high functioning. They keep it that way. Think about it. The more knowledge you take on, the more responsibility you got to take on. Who the fuck want to be responsible for some shit? That's the American way. They got mad at Kanye. But to a certain degree, you got to accept the class that you're in America. That's accepted. So if you want to ignorantly be on the titty, which a lot of brothers and sisters in the black community has accepted, whoop-de-doo. They lied to y'all. Black people wasn't agreeing with Martin Luther King, and even if you agreed with Martin Luther King, you kind of cornholed yourself back into the establishment with the whole integration thing. This is why once he realized what the hell happened, and the jig is up, they had to get him up out of here. Then they had to do a 2-for-1. They had to do an and one and get Malcolm ass up out of here too. Martin Luther King was the numbers, Malcolm was the morale. But guess what? Black people thought both of them were crazy as fuck and was hesitant to follow both of them. But the beauty of it is that the black community is so contained. Yeah, it was about appealing to the white people for sure. And it was so contained and it was so small that you didn't need all black people to be on the same accord. You just needed a group of influential people to influence, and black people would follow. Because we are sheep. The average black person thought Martin Luther King was crazy. The only reason why they paid him any mind was because he was Christian. A lot of those people are running around right now calling him a tether. Especially on Twitter. Malcolm X, niggas knew he was crazy. They kind of ran back to King because to be a Muslim, especially in the nation or any type of percenter, you had to have a level of discipline. You had to fast. You had to hold yourself to a cord. Black people wasn't ready for that. So a lot of them kind of just, let me go see what MLK talking about. Even though low key, high key, a lot of them felt like Malcolm. They had to get King up out of here because King was more palatable, was talking and working with white people, and he can get certain things done. He can bring people out. He can bring out the numbers. Right. A lot of people didn't give a damn about a Farrakhan speech when Malcolm was alive, but we're going to get into it. Y'all support the show. Hit the Cash App. You can support the show at $PTV 888. That's $PTV 888. If I ever made you think, if I gave you some mental chewing gum and put something on your brain, let me know. Support the show. If what I'm saying is speaking to you, if you like, damn, that's deep, or the wheels are turning in your head, man, go ahead and support the show. It's Christmas, y'all. I got you. I'm good for it. Please support the game. Give you guys a shout out. I'm telling you. Martin Luther King, what saved him was the Christian background, the Christian trope. A lot of white men respected him also because he was a Christian. America's religion, to a certain degree, is built on the faculties of Christianity. We put it on our currency. That money says, "In God we trust." You go look up in the corner of the dollar, you'll see a pigeon, you'll see a bird, and you'll see a spider web. All seeing eye. So the people that was also attacking Martin Luther King, how they wrote it out of the books, those were other Christians. Those were fellow Christians. The KKK will burn a cross on your front lawn. And a lot of the symbols that the KKK use, those are altered African symbols. Some real shit. Do your history. Even Kanye showed y'all that before he crashed out. For sure, new. You already know. What's going on, King? Merry Christmas, my brother. Even that's why I say, and I say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to y'all, because even I feel goofy saying Merry Christmas. You know. But then again, I talk about other forms of quote unquote things that would be considered paganism. You know. The original Trinity was the family unit: man, woman, and child. Triangle has three, 3 points on it. You know, the Trinity. But once they got Malcolm up out of the picture, once they got MLK up out of the picture, all of those sheeple that were black people, they didn't know who the fuck to follow. They just assimilated to the government. Yeah, I don't know about the story about Hiru getting raped by Set. I know he ends up beating Set, but some of those stories were just to take the morale and go with it, not necessarily the full story. But Osar, aka Osiris, became the king of the dead. Osset, who was supposed to be a virgin, you know, Mother Mary. There's a lot of sipping going on in the Bible too. See, I gotta take a look at that. I never heard of that part of the story. God damn. But this is what I'm saying. A lot of those stories, they all come from the writings in the walls of Egypt. When you go to the east, you got Krishna and you got Buddha, Ishtar, and all of these different deities that they you know what I'm saying, that they that they throw out there and that they worship. You understand what I'm saying? Now, of course, Christianity started after the death of Jesus Christ, and it is a sub religion. And Constantine the second, was an underground religion for 300 years, damn near, before Constantine the second actually, flipped it over. You know, but what I'm saying is that in America, you know, once all of that shit was said and done, black people, the government had them where they wanted them. Most black people didn't have the balls to listen to Malcolm. And MLK, before anybody even knew there was a radical side to him, MLK has become the biggest joke on the planet, which is fucked up. And a lot of people just don't get it. You throw it right in the bin with George Floyd and all of them. They just don't get it. And the only speech that gets mentioned is the "I Have a Dream" speech. And then go look at MLK's son. They made sure they broke his son. That shit wasn't gonna happen ever again. You know. Shout outs to LT, man, dropping the huge $10 on the Cash App. Merry Christmas, my brother. Shout outs to LT, man, checking in from Chicago. Yes, sir. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Absolutely. It's Capricorn season, y'all. But yeah, man, it's super crazy, man. Yes, Merry Christmas. No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for always rocking with the show. And thank you for pushing products, to heal the nation and stuff like that. Oftentimes, you know, people don't give modern pharmacists, their props. And, you know, I gotta do a show about it because just a second ago we were talking about how they're trying to make hemp and CBD products. They're trying to outlaw them and play politics with them. And look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump just signed a whole executive order opening up the CBD and hemp market. And you had all them bullshit doctors and scientists around them talking about some, I've never played with hemp and weed a day in my life, and and all my clients was telling me about the medicinal factors, and we've been misdiagnosing people for years, and we were such against it and stuff like that. But thank you, Donald Trump and Mr. President, for opening up this market because now we can heal more people than ever. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, you want to talk about the biggest grifters on the planet? Fuck them people. Fuck them people. It's people, and I hate to say it, but it's people like dudes in the hood smoking, and not even just in the hood, people that started smoking weed for some odd reason or some good reason, because it's not all bad, and it start working wonders in their lives. And then they want it to spread, the love by passing joints to people and saying, hey, man, take the load off your day. Not to sedate people, but, heal. They had the war against drugs and crimes, and they were locking. There's people in jail right now for some weed. People saying, oh, man, this economy is fucked up. You know what, man? Fuck these people. You know what I'm going to do? Even something that's precious. I'm going to start selling weed. Now the world is fucked up. America's fucked up behind inflation. And all kinds of shit's going on in America. You know what America says? You know what? We're going to start selling weed. Look at Kamala. Kamala was trying to give black people weed. So you mean to tell me you had a whole war against drugs and all this other stuff, and it took Trump to said like, listen, man, we're gonna change the schedule of this drug. It's not even a drug. For years, it's gotten a bad rep. So we're gonna change it over. Niggas was like, oh, Obama's cool because he smoked weed. Goofies, I tell you. And now all of a sudden, overnight, oh, weed is not that bad. You know how much black people and people in general are doing? Man, listen. Shout outs to King. King said, you do the same, LT. Even though I don't celebrate, I'm not a bubble buster or a party pooper. Yeah. This is not to tear down anybody that celebrates Christmas, for sure. LT Man said, making marijuana a Schedule 3 drug. Yeah, Schedule 3 would significantly boost scientific research, which they were giving them praises, by reducing regulatory barriers, cutting red tape, and allowing researchers easier access to federal funding and materials. The change also carries symbolic weight by formally recognizing the plant's accepted and medicinal value, and medical value, my bad. So the only person that can benefit is the researchers and pharmaceutical companies, which are going to get funded by the government, right? And then, they're not going to be fully forthright. They're not going to be fully forth with the information that they're giving out. You know. But I commend guys like LT Man and all the brothers that's that's pushing, for hemp products and stuff like that, and showing its value and its medicinal value, and bringing actual healing components to people in the world that want to live better, have a different quality of life, and not just sedate themselves from the fucked up world that we live in. Or even if it is to sedate yourself, at least give people a break from the weight of the world that's on their shoulders. So here I tell you guys, head over to hempforfitness.com. It's Christmas. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. And take advantage of the buy one, get one free sale. Get those 2 free gifts, if not an extra third one. And gift the gift that keeps on giving, Absolutely. But the thing is that the medical and the pharmaceutical companies, big pharma, they're not in the business of healing. Weed heals. It can damage also, depending on how you take it, guys. But weed heals. The money is not in the cure. It's in the disease, Yeah, I see that, LT Man. And it's always been a war. The money is not in the cure, y'all. It's in the disease. You got to keep it going. The Orchid Man, when he comes to spray your house for bugs, if he's good at his job, he will have no job. If he's good at his job, he will put himself out of work. So he has to keep coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. Right now it's tax season. You know how much people attempted to do their own bookkeeping and fucked up their books? Or they hired a fucked up bookkeeper, and thank God that I'm getting into business, and hopefully I pick up a client or two. But guess what? After I clean up their books and reconcile them and get them tax prepared or tax ready, guess what? I say, hey, let me resume your doing your bookkeeping and save your company money. Make your company more money. Put me in the budget. Because if people did their job to the best of their ability, they will have no job. The money is in the disease, not the cure. It's in the disease, not the cure. So you got to keep people sick. Some may say it's population control. It's a big paycheck. The pharmaceutical companies are in bed with the insurance companies. The insurance companies, they have a budget. So does the pharmaceutical companies. And they just move the money around in the money pool. Again, I showed you guys so many times how much terms that they use for money that revolves around any like liquid, you know, liquidity, cash pool. They always use water terms and liquid terms for money. Laundering. What do you put your money into? You put it into a bank. But this stuff is in front of us. With the majority of black people, if you're not a Democrat, you're a Republican, which is not true. So, yes, they're going to be fake. Turn on Nicki Minaj. Yes, they turn on everybody. LT Man said, "Are you ready to bookkeep? Are you ready to bookkeep several millions?" Absolutely. But on my end is different for me, you know. I would give a customer like that a dashboard to help explain it, because I'm realizing doing bookkeeping, there's three sides to my job. But the thing is that a lot of business owners, they don't, you'd be surprised, they don't care. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. So, number one, I would have to deal with the business owners. The business owners just want to know that their numbers are right and cool, you know. Some business owners, they rather maintain their business, not necessarily, they don't, they what it is, LT Man. A lot of times they just want to maintain their business. And sometimes that's okay. Some businesses, sometimes the more money they make, the more problems they take on. So sometimes it's good to just keep your business maintained and everything well and good. Now on my end, I would give the customer a dashboard, especially if it's that amount of money to a certain degree. And on my end, with QuickBooks, I would take a look at all of their accounts. I would simplify all of their chart of accounts and stuff like that, and all of their their sub categories and stuff like that. And so it'll be easier to categorize. Like I will simplify it all of their, their whole chart of accounts, simplify all of that. I'll run a snapshot of their balance sheet, and then what I'll do is I will have to go back into the chart of accounts. Well, first I'll run a P&L, and I'll run a balance sheet, and then I will go into the chart of accounts. I'll have to simplify their chart of accounts, reorganize everything, recategorize everything that's record everything that's coming in from the bank feed and the business credit cards and stuff like that, and make sure their liabilities and their assets are in order, so I can, show the owners equity, and let you know what the business has, what the business owes, what the business made, and then, when all of when that equation is done, what the business is actually worth. Then I will have to recategorize everything, record everything that's coming in. I will have to reconcile the accounts, and then I will have to run another balance sheet and another P&L, and then show you the comparison between before and after reconciliation. And if it's hard to explain to the business owner, or the people that have stake in the company, what I'll do is I'll have a dashboard that will translate everything, and you guys can see it. Usually the software that I'm using, QuickBooks, it usually does that, but QuickBooks changes up so much that it confuses the business owners. So this is why we have to do a lot of cleanups and stuff. But the thing is that the third part of the job is that I would have to educate the business owners on, reading the balance sheets and stuff like that, and I would have to give them information. Now, they would be able to ask me, hey, what's making money? What do you think I should do? And blah blah blah. But honestly, I can give them an answer from the numbers, and let them know that their business is in good health and profitable. But I wouldn't be able to help them. I would have to say, listen, you would have to consult with an accountant, or your CPA. You know, a accountant or a CPA. You know, so that they can, they can give them a course of action, and more profitable. And then there's another person that's on the back end of what we do, called a CFO. They cost a pretty penny, but with the information that I give the accountant, and the information that the accountant or the CFO will get from me, man, that CFO will take your business to the moon. They're expensive, but once you start really dealing with them CFOs, you're going corporate. At that point. And that's kind of like a problem in the West, because it kind of prices out the mom and pop store. Everything is corporate in the West. That in Asia and stuff like that, they keep a lot of stuff low, because everything's not corporate. People haven't bought up all these other mom and pop stores. So a lot of times these mom and pop stores, they're the backbone. They're the backbone of a country's infrastructure. All right, let me catch up on what LT Man is saying. He said, no, into a business account, then transfer that into your trust account. Shit, hopefully, man, but hopefully that's off of scaling up a firm, because anything else, they call it embezzlement. Embezzlement is crazy. He said, but we also want to be able to write off as much as we make in taxes. Obviously, yeah, for sure. That's where I would come in, but also that's where your accountant would come in. So once I redo and restructure the chart of accounts, I can save you a lot of money in taxes and stuff like that. Anything and everything. It's just that we have to document and record everything. And personally, I will say, and one thing that, we do have to tell customers all the time and clients is that, the first number one, you have to separate your personal finances from your business finances. But to a certain degree, certain meals and things that you do that is technically personal, um, because we're talking to the business owners, like literally in the first month, like number one, like when I get a client, right? I'm talking to two potential clients right now about a cleanup before taxes, right? One has QuickBooks, one doesn't have QuickBooks. So the one that has QuickBooks, I would have to ask them to share their to share their account with me. And basically, I once they share their account with me, I will basically get an invite on my QuickBooks. I have a different QuickBooks than they have, right? And I get to oversee their books and stuff like that and see what they got going on, so I can price everything right, and I can see how much of a job it is, like cleaning stuff like that, right? Or what they need done, because they might not need as much done as they think they do. They're just kind of confused about their books. Now, a new client that doesn't have QuickBooks,